WL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. If this is your first time checking out a video, please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. We're watching a clip of The Herd with Colin Cowherd talking about Jordan Love. I'm personally really excited about Jordan Love. I think he's a great young quarterback that I think has shown us a lot. And I guess it's apparently being reported that the Packers are projected to make Jordan Love the highest paid quarterback in franchise history. Now, I think we have to put that into context, right? Like, money just keeps going higher and higher and higher, so everyone's just making more money, right? So that makes sense. So it's not to say that he's the best quarterback in franchise history here. So I am curious to see what Colin has to say, because he's done a whole 180 on Jordan Love. He said Jordan Love was bad, terrible, not anything special, and he's not the dude. And he kept saying, I'm hearing things from people. He's not it. He's not it. And then now all of a sudden he's like, he's amazing. He's great. He's brilliant. I've always been high on Jordan Love. Like I said, I think he's a great quarterback. I think the Packers are going to be legit contenders for the Super Bowl this coming season, and I'm really excited. So I want to see what Colin has to say, and then we can break it down from there.
The Packers, there's a story today that, and I see this all the time. Everybody in the media wants to pay everybody. Jordan Love has a year left on his deal. Just let him play. I like Jordan Love. I don't love him yet because I don't know. Now, I do. My hunch is these young receivers and these young tight ends in Green Bay are terrific. They always have good O-lines. They draft and develop at a high level. I think he's going to be really good. I think they found their guy. That's my hunch. But now every defensive coordinator, as I see this headline today, Packers need to sign Jordan Love to an extension sooner than later. They're going to have to pay him either way. I mean, unless you think he's going to tank, I don't, because all those young receivers and tight ends are going to get better. LaFleur, Aaron Jones, I think they found their guy. Let him play through the rest of the season. Defensive coordinators all have film now. So I think C.J. Stroud may pull back a little, and I like him a lot. Everybody's got film. So I think from weeks 3 to 17, there was about a 9, 10, 11-week stretch or whatever it was, probably 9 or 10 weeks. I think Jordan Love really popped. I think a lot of it's Matt LaFleur. Let's be honest, not a lot of great defenses in the NFC. The best defenses were Kansas City and Baltimore and Buffalo. A lot of the best teams in the NFC, even the Niners defense wasn't as good. They played in the division. Lions defense stunk. Bears defense was better at the end, but not great. Vikings defense was mediocre. Let's look at the Packers' schedule. Let's see who they play. Let's see the defenses. Everybody's got film. And Jordan Love, there's 2 quarterbacks in the NFL that I really want to watch this year. If I had to say, here are my top 10 quarterbacks in the league. And I don't know if the order is perfect, but it's somewhere around this. I would put Mahomes 1, Josh Allen 2, Burrow's injuries concern me, but 3, Lamar Jackson, who I think's remarkable, hasn't had the playoff success, 4. Matt Stafford, 5. He can be a tad reckless, but 5. Everybody I talk to in the league loves Justin Herbert, 6. I'm a Trevor Lawrence fan, so I'd put him at 7. He was hurt last year. That's why he regressed. He was bad.
Okay, hold on. You're really putting Dak Prescott up there and not Jordan Love, which again, this is where Colin is, I don't understand. I'm like looking at this because somehow maybe I'm missing it. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Stafford, Herbert, Lawrence, Goff, Murray, Rodgers, Stroud, Prescott. There's no Jordan Love. Let's go back to when the Cowboys lost against the Packers. And Colin talked about how, you're hearing a lot of noise out of the Cowboys, that they're really upset. That it sounds like the defense was on the field with Jordan Love and said, Dak's not it. Our guy can't do that. That is what Colin said himself. That he was saying, speaking through the players, specifically the defense of the Cowboys, that they're all upset, they're disgruntled, that they see that they do not have what it takes. Okay? And yet he puts Dak Prescott above Jordan Love, though. How does that make sense? How on one side are the Cowboys defense saying, Jordan Love's so great, he's better than Dak, what are we going to do? And Colin believes that, at least in that moment, at least when that happened in the end of January or whenever that game was exactly played, I forget. I just don't get it. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I really don't. So I just think that's absurd. I love Justin Herbert, love Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence. I don't understand how you're putting Kyler Murray up there. I think I keep calling him Kyle. Kyler Murray is a good quarterback. I think he's a great quarterback. But I don't know. I think a lot of these other quarterbacks, like I think Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, and honestly, I think Herbert too. And Stafford's just older, so I kind of take him out of the equation. They're all in leagues of their own. Really, it's the way I look at it. And then all these other quarterbacks that we're listing down there, I would say are just more meshed together. They're just a lot more inconsistent. They have, very highs. They have some pretty bad lows. CJ Stroud is up and coming, and that's also why Aaron Rodgers is down at 10 because he's old. He's recovering from an injury. Again, Colin before was so high on Jalen Hurts, saying that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and that he's just the perfect person at the mic and this and that. And it's like, wow, why is he not up there? Which again, he took his team to the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott did not do that. Kyler Murray did not do that. Trevor Lawrence did not do that. So I don't understand how you can't even have Jalen up there. I'm trying to think if there's any other quarterbacks. Brock Purdy, we know he doesn't like Brock Purdy, but I'm taking Brock Purdy over Dak Prescott every day of the week. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's not even a hesitation. I don't even have to think about it remotely. I can see the argument for all these other quarterbacks being up there. I think Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. Jared Goff is a good quarterback. Justin Herbert is going to show out with Harbaugh. Mark my words. I think CJ Stroud can continue to grow as well. But I don't see how you're putting Dak Prescott above Jalen Hurts. And I don't see how you're putting Dak Prescott above Brock Purdy. I know we're talking about Jordan Love here, but the same thing. I don't see how you're possibly putting him above Jordan Love. I really don't. So I think Jordan Love is going to have a great season next season. And I think he will play better than Matthew Stafford. I think he will play better than Kyler Murray. I think he will play better than Aaron Rodgers. I think he will play better than Dak Prescott. And CJ Stroud, I think they're going to have very similar years next season. I think they're both going to have great seasons. I really, really do. And I think it's going to be one of those things where maybe one player, rushed a little more, or another player threw like an extra couple more touchdowns, but an extra couple interceptions. It's going to be one of those weird things that you're just like, well, who's really better? Look who they're playing, right? That's going to be the whole thing. Well, look who, the Texans got to play. Well, look who the Packers got to play. It's going to be like a mixed bag and more difficult to analyze in that regard. But Jordan Love is him. Honestly, he is a great quarterback. But I think Jordan Love's not perfect. So he's going to have some moments too where you're like, oh my God. Where like the most famous play right now is for him is in the championship in the playoffs against the 49ers, right? Making a not such a great throw across his body when he did not need to do that. That's his youth. That's a great lesson that he learned. Believe me, he's still thinking about that play. He's still haunted by it. He's still thinking about it. He's going to learn. He's going to grow. And he has the team to learn and grow and the coach to do that as well. So I think he's going to be great.
I would put Jared Goff at 8, most underrated player in the league. I'm a huge fan of Kyler Murray. Aaron Rodgers at 10, bad O-line, off an Achilles surgery. I think C.J. Stroud's going to be good. Is it possible now that everybody has film and now he becomes kind of a guy everybody targets? 11, Dak Prescott at about 12. And then there's two guys in the league that I think I see a remarkably high ceiling, but I don't know, Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love. 3 years of Jalen Hurts. Great. Last year he was a turnover machine. Is he great or is it Shane Steichen? I don't know. Is he great or is it without Shane Steichen year 1 and 3? Jalen Hurts is average. I think he's good. But we may have just seen great coach, perfect fit for Jalen Hurts. I think he'll get in the 12. And Jordan Love's the other player. I think he'll get in the 12. That division in the NFC does not have great defenses. I mean, what's the best defense in the NFC? Like, people were talking about Dallas's defense. It got destroyed by Green Bay and destroyed by San Francisco. What about San Francisco's defense? Kyle Shanahan had to fire the defensive coordinator. How great was it? So I just, my take is everybody's in a rush to pay everybody. Jordan Love's got a year left. They're going to have to pay him either way. But let's give me about 7-8.
Did you see that play? Did you see that throw? Let's look at that
more
throw
games.
one more time. This is such an unbelievable toss.
Let's give me about 7-8 more games.
It looks easy, but it's not. I mean, it's just not. It's an unbelievable throw. It really is. Jordan Love is going to be great. He just is. His reads, his decision making can improve a little bit, but some of his throws, again, when you watch the Cowboys game, he was in a league of his own relative to Dak Prescott. I mean, it looked night and day. Someone with such confidence. It was so exciting to see. And I was really excited to see it. I love quarterbacks like Jordan Love because they're just fun to watch. I mean, they just are. It's just fun. And I think he will continue to grow and get better. And again, he's doing it perfectly with other receivers and tight ends and even a head coach for that matter, who's growing with him. They're all growing together. If you guys know any other scenarios where that has happened, where you're really seeing this core group, this core team, pretty much all the same age, the same experience within the league, all growing together, I would love to see it. I mean, because I really don't know other examples of this, and it's just great. And I think, again, it's going to be perfect because they're all going to be in their athletic prime as well as their NFL experience prime, right? Like they're going to get the perfect blend of experience, but also hunger. And, I think it's going to be great. I just can't, it's hard for me to see how he's just going to not be better. I really don't see it. And then just to add Jalen Hurts on top of this, if you watch any of the Eagles games, you could see how awful the offense was run. And this is not all on Jalen Hurts. One, Jalen Hurts was hobbled. He was clearly injured. Even super duper Chiefs fan Nick Wright said it repeatedly. Jalen Hurts is clearly injured, right? You could see he was hobbled. He was even getting defensive about his knee. Like he was clearly not, healthy. You could just see him walking around. Like it just clearly was not, good. So that's number one. Number two, the offense wasn't good because the play calling was atrocious. Nobody was ever open. When I was watching all these other playoff games, and you see, for instance, the Packers being wide open, Andy Reid's brilliant play calling in not only the Ravens game, but as well as against, in the Super Bowl. Watching, obviously, any of the 49ers games, so many of these players were wide open. Jalen Hurts, every single throw was just a contended throw. I mean, every single one. I mean, it was just never ending. It really, really was. So it was just like they just never could get their offense going. So, and again, this is where he's talking out of both sides out of his mouth right now, Colin, because he said, well, look how good they did against the 49ers, how good, the 49ers defense wasn't really that good. They had to fire their defensive coordinator. The Eagles had to fire their defensive coordinator and their offensive coordinator. So how good was their offense? We know Bosa's not the problem on the defense. So why are you blaming the defensive coordinator for the defensive struggles for the 49ers, but not the offensive struggles on the offensive coordinator? You're right. Why are you putting more blame on Jalen Hurts in that regard? And if you really watch those games, you can really connect the dots that one, Jalen Hurts is clearly not 100%, and two, the OC, nobody could get open. Nobody could get it. Every single yard was so brutal. That's why by the end of the season, A.J. Brown was so broken up because the guy just never got the ball thrown to him in wide open space here. So it's just, I reject that notion. Not to mention, like throughout the whole season, Colin had the Eagles so high up. And me being an Eagles fan, I didn't. I said that this is fool's gold. I knew that there was no chance that this was happening. As soon as I saw the Cowboys lost, I saw maybe it could happen because I'm like, well, actually, now that the Cowboys lost, the Eagles could end up actually having home field advantage, for one of these games. Like then it's like, well, who knows, right? And hopefully maybe they will be able to just, get something going. But I was not putting them in the top teams. They easily could have been a 6-win team. But I don't. But again, it's like Colin was saying, they're amazing, they're amazing, they're amazing. Jalen Hurts is amazing. Him and Nick Wright had their own podcast talking about how amazing Jalen Hurts is and all of that, and they were going on and on and on and on and on. And then there was only like a handful of games left, and then they obviously didn't play great, and then boom, they just throw them out. Just throw them out, and it's just like, what are we talking? Are we really evaluating week to week to week to week to week? They're amazing, they're terrible. They're amazing, they're terrible. Amazing, terrible. Doesn't make sense to me. Jalen Hurts plays bad next season. Yes, I understand that, okay? But you have to give Jalen grace. We talk about how good Kansas City defense is and how good Spags is and how he's a genius coordinator. Jalen Hurts balled out in the Super Bowl. Balled out. Him wasn't just Shane Steichen. It was the things that Jalen had to do, okay? The freestyle that Jalen had to do, the improv that Jalen had to do. He had to put that team on his back in those moments, okay? It wasn't just amazing schemes and amazing play calling by Shane Steichen, okay? Some of that, of course, but there was many moments when it was like, Jalen, you got to make this happen, and he did. So you can't just all of a sudden just say, well, it was all Shane Steichen. No, the play caller for the Eagles were terrible, and the offense was just completely in disarray, and then you have A.J. Brown causing trouble. Like, it was just an ugly thing. So I just I reject this notion that all of a sudden you're going to put some of these other players up there, and it's like, what did Dak do in the playoffs? He got smoked, he got destroyed. So, and you're gonna put him above Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts? You're gonna put him above Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy, has played better in the Super Bowl than Dak Prescott has done in any playoff game yet. So, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. It really, really doesn't. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. If you think what I'm saying is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, please let me know in the comments below. If you think what I'm saying is the most amazing thing, then definitely please let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. I read every single comment. And please don't forget to subscribe. As I said, we are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really, really does help with the visibility and the algorithm, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.